Hello again, everyone. And today, guys, it's time for my mission statement. I want to just ask Sean, maybe do you want to write a mission statement as well? You just came a little bit later, and I'm not sure if you got everything and you wanted. Just let us know.
Yeah, I probably should, but I've just been enjoying meeting with everybody whenever I can. I know it's hard to keep up on everything that you guys put on that chat, and I was behind. So
Yes.
I probably should. I just had a lot going on.
No, take your time. And you already was you were probably, you heard two mission statements, right? So you kind of got an idea. And we enjoyed our mission statements. I personally very proud of every one mission statements. Our mission statements are so fantastic that all of them are completely deserve to be in Mr. Covey book. So I would be interested to see your mission statement. And all of mission statements are so different. It's so wonderful. So let's hope that someday we will see your mission statement. Now for that, I think it would be nice to come back to chapter 3, habit number 2, habit number 3. And the 2 as well. So let me know if you would like to write, and I will find some material in order that you would review. Okay, guys. I will start with my mission statement. I don't know, something is going on. I am actually a little bit worried because maybe you were worried too when you presented your mission statement, right? So what I want to say, that my mission statement withstood the test of time, because I wrote it in the first, when Patrick and Violetta wrote it. And I can tell you since that, and it's already 2 or 3 months, I didn't change a thing. And I will show you the picture. I'm talking to you right now, and my mission statement is stand next to me, and I am on my table where I'm working, where I'm talking, and I love to look at it. This is my mission statement. So let me explain a little bit why I have 4 dimensions in my mission statements, or 4 statements, and what do they mean to me. So I'm around 2 years in God consciousness. Before I was agnostic. Agnostics, it's who not necessarily deny God, but they don't believe. I am not atheist. I wasn't atheist. Atheists refuse God completely. And when I started to study about God, I was actually surprised when I heard put God first. And I was thinking, how can I put God first? I have my family, I have my husband, I have my daughter. So how can I put my parents? How can I put his first? And during the time I understood that God is not a person. It doesn't mean that I put some person in front of my family. God is not only everything. God is can be your friend, can be, it's through Veda what I'm studying, can be your how is it, friend, can be God, can be your very, 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 very close master who you can ask a question. And it's exactly what I'm doing. Whatever I'm doing, I'm just asking, God, do you like if I will do this? Do you like if I will accuse that person? Do you like if I will hate this person? Do you like if I will don't like this person? And you can imagine what God is answering to me. So he's like a star for me, to whom I'm consulting. And God never will tell me what to do something wrong. Only when, for example, I want to, what I learned, I want to make a friend from God, I still need to keep subordination. This is like, for example, we can be friendly with our boss, right? But we need to keep subordination. This is also for the relationship between children and the parents. We can be friends with our children, right? But we need to keep subordination. Without that, it would be actually amazing. And while I was contemplating about God, I was thinking where I was looking for God before. Before God was over there, like God is someplace there. But no, we know that God is everything. God is everywhere. The world is actually God. But in order to understand God, what we need to know? We need to know yourself. Because part of God in our heart is over here. And if we are looking for everything around us, because we are concerned with everything what is outside of us, but we don't concern about what is going on inside of us. We are worried about what Trump will do next, what the stock market, what the people think about me, what boss think about me, what celebrity dating habits. We are thinking about everything what is outside, but not inside of us. But God is talking to us all the time. But we are so busy with all those thoughts, we actually don't hear. We don't hear him. And how, while I was contemplating and learning, this is not only what I'm sharing with you, not only my thoughts, I need to give credit to Veda, to all the masters whom I'm listening. So what is God? So we believe in God, right? Let's talk about faith. We believe in God. If we believe in God, we need to trust him, right? It's actually even written, we trust in God. So we trust and we believe in God. So if we do that, we don't need to doubt in God, right? So we don't doubt in his power. If we trust and don't doubt in the power of God, we need to make sure that our lives in his hands, right? So, but sometimes when it's good, God is taking care of us. Sometimes when it's bad, God turns away from us. No, guys, the real faith is to believe in God totally. To believe in him so much that it's not that he will give us something. To believe in him so much, not that he will fulfill our desire, not should he help to us, or he will bring us to paradise. Not for that. We know that God is omnipotent. But now this is contemplate. What does mean omnipotent? It means he knows everything, right? It means he's aware of everything. And if he is aware of everything, he controls everything. And if he controls everything, then our selfish desires disappear. And whatever our lives are offering to us, we agree with it. And then our ego is gradually will collapse and our bad habits disappear. Don't remind, and we, because it's our total trust, don't remind this state is a peace if we are total believe in God. But this is not else, not yet. So if our body is in pain, if we totally trust in God and believe in his power, it means it's correct. If our bodies are fine, it's correct. If we don't have food, it's correct. If we were robbed, it's correct. If we earn $1 million, it's correct. And if we lost that million, it's correct as well. But nobody wants to believe in God like that. So this is just my contemplation about God. And what I want to add, it's mentally. God, do you remember we were talking? God is pure consciousness. God doesn't have hands and legs. God won't come and won't do for us anything. It's everything mentally. He influences us mentally, and then he's saying to us, and now you do. And I don't know, I have one thing to share with you about another contemplation, but maybe it would be too much. What so far you think about what I shared about God? So this is why I put God in the first place. Let me move ahead. So I want something else, but I will share with you next time. And of course, after that is going a prayer, right? How is the prayers going? And while I cannot ask you how you're praying, because it's personal, let me just share my favorite prayer. So it's a prayer from Aptina Monastery. It's one of the most famous places in Russia. And don't know why, because those monks are so saint that they perform multiple miracles. People just flock there, and those monks are healing them, or even not healing. If not, they are giving them a peace, and they solve their problems. Millions of people are there. So Gogol, Tolstoy, they all were there, and they are saying that they served with the bright tenderness of angels and the radiant simplicity of treatment, and with huge compassion. This is not much, just what is staggering to me, it's was built, that monastery, actually it was 500 years before. But let's see, we are thinking about monks, that they are humble and weak, but they are actually have extraordinary courage, firmness, and energy. And he was the founder, and he was performing many miracles. I would see what this monk is saying. If there is humility, everything is there. If there is no humility, there is nothing. This Anthony was very humble and very caring. He said before his death, I would like to comfort everyone, and if I could, I would tear myself apart and give it to every one of these. It's pretty serious words, and this is my prayer, my favorite prayer. Of course, I'm saying it in the Russian, but I translated for you. Whites elders, it's in Russia called that like older wisers. Lord, let me face with peace of mind all that the coming day will bring me. Just think about it. So let me face with peace everything what is coming day will bring to me. Let me surrender completely to your holy will. At every hour of this day, instruct and support me in everything. Support me in everything, instruct me. Whatever news I receive during the day, teach me to receive it with peace of mind and a firm conviction that it is your holy will for everything. Teach me and receive it with peace of mind. In all my words and deeds, guide my thoughts and feelings. See what they are saying, and deeds. They didn't say and just pray. They need to act as well. In all contingencies, don't let me forget that everything has been revealed by you. Teach me to act directly and wisely with each member of my family without embarrassing or upsetting anyone. And again, act directly. Do we act directly? Even Mr. Covey, what he said, It's very easy to pretend that nothing happened. And they are saying the same, act directly and wisely with each member, not think directly and wisely, or drink directly and wisely, act directly and wisely. Lord, give me the strength to endure, the awareness of the coming day and all the events during the day, strength to endure. Guide my will and teach me to pray, believe, hope, endure, forgive, and love. And this we are all doing, and this forgiveness is very important. Amen. So to me, this prayer is precious. So far for me, it's the most wise prayer which I ever seen. Well, let's move ahead. The next is health. So why the next I put health? Because simply, guys, if I won't be healthy, I won't be able to do anything. I won't be able to serve first God and the people. People will need to serve me. And don't know why if I will get sick, right? So for me, it's even kind of selfish to me when people don't take care of themselves. And they know that if people don't take care of themselves, they will get problems, right? But what usually we think, no, it's not with me. With somebody else, it will happen. With me, it's not happen. Won't happen. Yes, Brian.
So there's actually a couple things I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
First off, I noticed in your mission statement, you know, that you don't have explicitly any statements about your family. I guess it's kind of, are they sort of covered under something else or whatever, or somehow, at least not explicitly? Is this the whole statement, or is this like sort of the, how would I say this? Is this your whole statement here, or does it have like subheadings or whatever?
No, this is the whole. This is the
Okay.
whole.
So you don't make any specific statements about your family then or anything like that?
It will be, however, it's all in me.
Okay. There was another question I wanted to ask you, and I don't necessarily expect you to get into it now, but I've been meaning to ask you for a while, and listening to you talk about God and stuff. I was kind of wondering, like, because I know, like, you're Russian, right? Or you grew up in
Yes.
Russia.
Yes.
How? So that means, in particular, I guess, that you grew up under like the communists and stuff like that. How did that really affect, like your viewpoints on religion and stuff like that? I don't know anything about like communist Russia, really. You know, I don't know anything about that, so I'm not trying to judge it. I'm just asking you. From what I know, it was pretty much banned and stuff like that. So how did that sort of change were you introduced to it later on, or did you know about it when you were young? Sorry, I'm just going on.
No, yes, you're fine. Yes, influenced of communism was a lot. It was the time when even going to church was prohibited. But for example, when it was Easter or Christmas, the special people were staying around the church and they were writing down who was going to church. And if the person was a communist, or he or she could have some problems. However, that's it. And nobody prohibited to read Bible, but it was so the big influence of through radio, through TV, through schools, through work, that it's kind of even was. Nobody kind of was interested in it. Everybody was influenced by communism. And probably it will play a big role that I wasn't believe and read about God when I was a child. And even when I come here, I come here 18 years ago, I tried to be in church for 3 years, but kind of didn't understand. And what I become a believer in the God consciousness like 2 years ago. And what I want to say that I was studying all my life, everything, self-help, psychology. I graduated every courses probably which is possible. However, my knowledge was scattered here, there, and only when I discovered God, everything started to put and lay down on the correct place. And I understand more how things are working, how life is going. I understand much deeper, and it's more satisfying and fulfilling, and my life is more happy. Thank you. So, and then, yes, I'm a little bit in rush all the time. Especially, I don't want to spend much time on me, so because I didn't stop from God, and I jumped right away on health. But Jan, I've seen you were raising your hand. Can you tell us what did you want to say?
I just got a question for you. And when you're talking God, you're talking religious.
You're asking if I'm talking about religion, some particular religion, or
Religions, God. Gosh.
Yes, let me tell
connection.
you. I
Sorry?
correctly understood you. You're asking
You
if
see
I
something?
belong.
The connection is bad here.
You are asking if I belong to any religion, right?
Yes. It's a religious God or spiritual God. Okay, it's I have no religion, so I'm quite ignorant about religion. So is a Christian God or what God?
Okay. Thank you for the question. So far, I don't belong to any religion. I started to study, and for 2 years I'm studying Veda. Why? Because I try to study Christianity, and it's very difficult to understand. And because when I accidentally came across Veda, they are explaining everything. They are explaining step by step what you need to do. And it makes sense. It made me complete sense. And I'm surprised why is our religion, like Christianity, is so complicated. And actually, because Veda was 5,000 years ago, they explain Jesus, and they explain Christianity, they explain everything. And how I mentioned, it's not proven, it's their thing, but it's kind of make me sense that the Christianity is the part of Veda, and because it's difficult to understand Christianity. So anybody who study Veda, he will become better Christian. If a person is Muslim, he will become better Muslim. So no person should change their religion if they are studying Veda, but the Veda is like a base. And so far, I didn't choose any religion. I'm studying Veda for my knowledge, and I accepted God and fully, and I considered myself in a God consciousness. Okay, guys, can I go ahead, right? Thank you for your questions. So how I started about health, that without health, I won't be doing and taking care of my family. And of course, I will come back at later about service. Right now, this is about health and about my health. Yes, Brian.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just want to say quickly that I think what you were saying about God sort of matches closely to my own, I think, personal opinions on it. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It wasn't what I expected to hear, but I think in a lot of ways it sort of lines with my own personal beliefs too. So
Okay,
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. And actually about health, what Mr. Kobe is saying, he is saying, do you know why we don't practice? Because it's not urgent. You remember about our quadrants, right? We are not practicing because it's not urgent. But however, he said, if we want practice, we slowly, but we definitely will move to quadrant number 1, and it will be urgent and important. And we will deal with health problem and crises. Will be as a natural result of our neglect. It's exactly what he says, and I completely agree with him. Also, being a Tai Chi instructor, Tai Chi and Qigong instructor, I know, guys, that actually we don't need to go to the gym to be healthy. We can successfully practice at home, we can walk, we can run, we can do any activities outside. So what we need endurance, flexibility, and strength endurance. So we need endurance. Every day I am doing exercise for 1 hour. Also, physical health affects your mental health. As you improve in one dimension, you increase your ability in other dimensions. And in Russia, we have a proverb where in healthy body, there is a healthy mind. Service. Yeah, I'm just waiting that maybe somebody will say something because I'm always in rush. Okay, I'll move ahead. So we come to service. Why I put the number 3 service? Because guys, service teaches me and everyone of everything. And of course, and first I'm serving my family. It's not that I'm service myself. I'm serving my family first. And I want to even say in which direction, and some direction, not direction, some order can actually maybe surprise you and welcome any questions. So the order is the following: God, husband, children, parents, relatives, friends, neighbors, member of my community, groups, acquaintance, animals, and nature. So this is who is everyone, and it's completely natural for me. I really don't need to to write on the paper that today first, I'm serving my family. No, it's in my heart, like in everyone's heart. We know that. And why, for example, I'm saying, God we figure out. It was first. Why, for example, is saying husband? Or, for example, my husband should put me on the second place, and then children. Maybe we need to put children on the first place. But guys, actually, children needs to be grown up and see the respect and love of her parents. Only through that, children will respect, love, and grow in love. But if they see that they are the first, they will think that they are the first, and they will demand from the other people be the first. Children cannot be higher than parents. Parents love and parents respect, and children will get love and respect from this relationship. No, then I think everything is clear and understandable. And the service is teaching me and everyone of everything. So first here I can put knowledge. This I can put patience. If I'm not patient, how can I serve? If I'm not kind, how can I serve? If I don't have modesty, I put somebody else. I put my husband and my daughter needs first in front of me. So everybody is in front of me, and I'm the last one. Is it humbleness? Of course, it's humbleness. Also, I need to have knowledge to serve people. How can I don't have knowledge? Integrity. I need to put down my temperance. I need to be courage. I need to be patient. So everything is what is teaching me my service. And the last one, I am now. Past and future are in the mind only. I am now. As I consider that life is only in the present. And while we are chewing the past events which were happening yesterday, the day before yesterday, 10 years ago, maybe when we were born, we are sleeping, we are dreaming, we are not living. And future is also the same. If we are in our future, we're also sleeping. Dreaming and planning are two different things. What is planning? Planning is when you sit and actively plan your day, right? Or your week. How long will it take to you? 30 minutes? I think the maximum. If you found yourself that you are planning during half of the day, it's not planning, it's dreaming. Do you remember we were talking about when we worry, we feel responsible. Actually, when we think, we feel responsible as well. But this is not the real responsibility. And before, I was in a hurry all the time. I'm very greedy for time. I always was in a rush. And yes, I did accomplish a lot in my life. However, do know I live in dream. I lived in dream. I don't want it anymore. I was in a rush, and it doesn't matter who was on my way, what was on my way. I always, they were irritating to me. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to live right now, every moment of my life. If I'm spending time with my family, I want to be every minute with my family, because this is only life. If I'm going on nature, I'm melting in nature. I am with nature, and nature generously gives me strength and energy and peace. If I'm cooking, I want to put all my life, all my love to food which my family eats. And this is Eckhart Tolle, a book, do you remember I mentioned before, The Power of Now. He said, realize deeply that the present moment is all you ever have. And when I will be tired of my mission statement, I can do something else. I can change, and it would be refreshed. And I can do this. So I can actually put it on any picture, and all pictures are mine. I didn't take them from internet. This is from our garden. And before, all pictures are mine, and beautiful ocean. And now I want to surprise you. Not only me make my statement and put on the table. I guess. Well, this is right now what you see, what I'm sitting. This is like picture made 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. No, actually, yes. It's my place, and this is my mission statement. This is Richard mission statement. So how my daughter said, very serious mission statement. We don't want to argue with this statement.
No, there's a God there.
And it's real. So don't mess up with Richard's mission statement. And this is our daughter mission statement. So she also printed it and they put it in frame and they put in her. I think it's wonderful. Very precious. Thank you so much. I really don't want to spend more time on me, guys. Let's move. At least if you have a question. Okay, great.
What's the story behind the kitty cat? Is that something like a Russian proverb or something?
You mean
Good
you mean
luck.
this? Yes, yes, it's good luck and money. Yeah.
And money?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. Cat, of course.
Cats are.
Mhm. Guys, we have a lot of for today, and let me see who is here. Patrick, hello, Patrick. Так, Jan, Richard, so everyone I've seen. Так, итак, our Jan, Patrick, Sean, and Brian, you are guys our stars for today. Sean said 3 words, but he become a star this week. Beautifully said them. Jan and Patrick, guys, your communication is wonderful. I'm very thankful to you. I'm thinking not for one time. I'm going and contemplating on everything what you're saying. Thank you so much. And Brian this time is our star. Let's figure out later why he is our star. So, guys, do you remember I was joking? I was telling you all the time that you will make the revolution. And actually you did it. What I want to offer to you, it started with the last time when Patrick actually asked how practically apply our knowledge to our lives. Do you remember? And you know, with this, what I think guys, I think it's time for us to go more practical. What this theory, we all big masters of it. We all can read, we all can listen, but we need to start to act. We need to start apply the knowledge which we receive into our lives. Otherwise, it will stay under in our minds. And slowly, when we will finish, we already 4 habits we finished. We have just 3 leftovers. We will be done someday. And you know, I'm not sure if you will have that opportunity to tell and to have the suggestion, kind suggestion, how to fix the problem. Because you know, we don't see for ourselves, but hopefully with all our knowledge we see our problems, but still not necessarily we know how to solve it. And this we can ask and we can solve or suggest, not solve, or suggest something. And you know, I don't ask you to complain. Complain, it's a person when he's saying or she's saying the problem, they're just looking for support. Oh, poor Lina, yes, we understand you. No, this is not for that. We are looking for solution. We are looking for what to do, what and how to act. And you remember that we were talking about this human maturity. And why I said that Brian is our star, because actually Brian didn't afraid to say what problem he has. And I can tell you that this is the growth of a human being. And I will promise to you that I will prove what I'm saying. to you right now. Actually, Patrick also said a little bit about what problem he has. So this is the same. This is Mr. Covey, and this is from Veda. Do you remember? I was telling interesting coincidence. So this was written 5,000 years ago, the maturity level, and this is what Mr. Covey used. Let's use what Mr. Covey used. It's closer to us. So this is, we can consider it's a problem. Well, this is problem. And the people on dependence level see the amount of problems they have. And they don't understand how to fix it. My question is why? Why they have so much problems and why they don't know how to fix them? Patrick?
Well, I mean, to me, I think it's really a function of awareness, right? And also not being comfortable of increasing one's awareness, because once you know something, you cannot not know it, right? So it's the fear of like, oh, if I know something, I have to do something about it, and I might not want to do something about it.
Okay.
You know, so I think that, so, and also the thing is, like you said, it's like, oh, it's not important right now. You defer, and then these problems accumulate and multiply, and then eventually you're trapped, or you're under this pyramid, right? So, but I think, to me, I think, you know, the root of the problem is really awareness, is basically truly aware of their situation, what they're in.
Okay, okay. There is really no wrong or all right answer, like right away. It's so big topic that what, for example, Patrick said, you are completely right. Let's listen what Brian will tell us, our star.
Well, I also would add that I think, you know, from my own perspective, you know, life itself gives you sort of perspective on an experience, and without a lot of experience and without a lot of knowledge, you're probably, particularly when you're young, you're probably, you know, floundering a lot, and that slowly as you get older and stuff, you know, you sort of learn to sort of grow, and, you know, sort of through experience and you know, stuff like that, you sort of learn that you know, mistakes too, they play a lot of role in sort of changing the way you look at things. For myself personally, I you know, I look at a lot of the stuff that I've done, and I think it's only really through, you know, through my recent circumstances or whatever, that I really started looking at it differently, you know, than the way I used to. And you know, and sometimes it just takes a lot of you know, experience, or, you know, certain experiences to sort of, you know, to sort of make that connection, you know, how to grow older or how to grow up and stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Everybody who said you're right, and let me summarize. On dependent level, guys, they cannot see the problem because they are blaming everything around. And if you are blaming somebody else, how can you see your problem? It's impossible. As they will continue to blame the others, and they never will see the problem. It's like, don't know, go into some place, but and try to find something, but this is laying down here, and they are going one direction, the other direction, third direction. They are going everywhere, but the problem is here because they cannot find the problem. And what Brian said, correct, that also it's lack of knowledge. So let's look at the independent level, and you see there is already less problems than independent level, right? And here already we start to realize that the blaming something doesn't work. And they started to open our ears and they hear something. Thanks God, we are, have a lot of information around us. And we start to, what is the first thing? We start to solve our problems with our own experience. Why? On independent level. Because we are cool. We are independent, we are responsible, we know what to do, we believe in ourselves. Guys, it's much better than dependent level, right? But still, we are too much sure in ourselves. We too much believe in ourselves, but it's absolutely necessary thing to progress over here. And I don't know, when person cannot solve with all methods which he or she tries, then this independent person is much more open for more knowledge. And then he start to communicate with people, he start to hear, she or he start to hear that something is going on. She start to see that somebody is living happily next to him, and he or she is happy, and why I am unhappy, right? So they become wiser. This is why people come to God, unfortunately, usually through problems. Why? Because they exhaust. Exhaust, correct? I think I'm wrongly pronounced it. They exhaust to use all their knowledge and resources. And they understand that something is higher than they are. Brian, do you want to say something? No, your arms is raised. So let's. I will. This be a little bit figure out. So what I want to say that. Okay, I will say it. So what Aristotle said, and I join here, Mr. Covey, that we are what we repeatedly do. So let's. It will be our mantra. Let's, guys, to do everything, not everything, let's do every day something. Every single day. It should be our mantra. What I well, like wake up and they say, I will plan to do this. And evening, what did I do today? Guys, not what did I read today? What did I think today? What did I contemplate today? What did I dream today? What did I plan today? We are big, big masters. I really want to say one word, but I don't know if it's appropriate to say for a girl that word. Forgive me, it's a literature world. So we are masters of mental masturbation. It's what we are doing. The whole day we are sitting and we are reading and we are getting excited and we are so happy how smart we are. We are reading everything. Then we close and we are going and doing what we did before. What this is happening. This is why I hear, oh, I've heard it. Oh, I know that. Oh, it just are different words. But we don't do. Yes, we've heard, but we don't do anything. Let's do it. And do you know what also we think? For example, even with Mr. Covey, he's offering many examples, but we are saying, no, my speech, it's not about me because my situation is special. My situation is different. What Mr. Covey is saying, it's here for my neighbor, for my friends. I know that it was work for him, would work for them, great. But my situation is special. I can disappoint you. Nothing special in your situation. If you don't know you think that your situation is special, it means your mind is so intricate that you make your situation so complicated that you're confused by yourself. But you see, all situation of our lives, every single person match Mr. Covey examples, and everything is working through Mr. Covey. This is one thing, the last thing I want to say with the last thing. I already come back to it. We're probably bored with this, but guys, if we are, what I thought, if we are creators of our own reality, then we can decreate the reality which we create and create another reality, a better reality. And when we analyze our problems, this is very important. When we analyze our problems without blaming anybody or anything around, and usually we think, how I told the lady, that our situation is special. We are what we're doing wrong. This is where life begins. This is the power of now. Guys, when we realize what we are doing wrong, there is where life begins. Can you imagine? Because before we were dreaming. How's about this? When I admit what I am doing wrong, then the real reality goes out of zone of illusion. Because we are living in illusion. How I cannot call it not illusion if, for example, I'm blaming somebody else. And of course, I'm doing wrong. Or I am afraid to say myself, yes, I did it wrong. And I'm trying to find some excuses. And from that, of course, I'm doing the wrong thing again. I found this picture is great. Minecraft. It's exactly what we are doing. This person was living in horror. And it was just creation of his mind. And as soon as he opened, I think as soon as he said, yes, this is my creation, he's gone to the better life. But first we need to accept ourselves. We need to accept ourselves with our problems, with our inflated self-esteem, with our graciness or helplessness or judging or comparison, whatever. We are not perfect. And then the situation will actually start to resolve. Of course, not itself with our work, but it's like a bring something out of darkness, our darkness to the light. So this is the last thing when Richard started and Sean finished, what we allow is what will continue. Guys, at first we need to recognize what we allow. To know sometimes it's happening that we even don't know what we allow. And if we don't know what we allow, what is it's done? No, just if you don't understand what you allow, start to study. What to study? We are studying. Read somebody else. Study Holy Scripture. Just it means you cannot solve the problem with your own great experience because you are going around. Yes, Patrick, please.
So I have a question. You know, with the pyramid that you had, like the dependent, independent, and interdependent. Obviously, we go through that cycle, right? As we go through life. What are your thoughts in terms of compressing that cycle or going through that cycle quicker, right? Meaning like, you know, you reach a new environment or a new relationship, you know, where you're like, okay, you know what, I'm not aware. I know that, you know, the result I want is the quality of the relationship that I built with that person, right? Or the situation. So how do you compress that? What are your thoughts? Because, you know, I have a couple ideas, but obviously I'm not sure because I don't know. So
absolutely, and please share with us because I just can say what I think. Absolutely possible. This is depend from our wish, from our desire, from how much energy and desire we put into our wish. Who's our geniuses? Genius is a pure concentration. Every one of you, including me, can be a genius. If you will stop to think about anything else but the thing you want to reach. Pure concentration. And everyone who was genius, they did, just remember, anyone, did you see any genius who would go into the bar or hang out with his friends or lay down on sofa in front of TV? Ever did you see? Never. So they were 24/7. They were only with their issue or thing they want to reach, and they got it. And whatever we are wanted, I told already that what God gave us, our wishes. We need to explore what we want because it's God gave to us, and just go toward it. And as stronger we will concentrate, the further, the faster we will get it. So it's only the point of our concentration. That's it. Richard, please.
Yes, I do ask myself that question that Patrick posed sometimes. And for me, it always comes back to what you said, is it starts with desire. And I believe you had that that small graphic about what to do, how does change come about? And it was the desire, knowledge, and skill. But the desire itself does come from changes in our lives sometimes. A tragedy, a change in a relationship, a son that, or a child that may end up doing something that they'll regret. And so desire can come from some event, but hopefully to many of us it comes naturally, and then we go on to the other steps to create that change.
Okay. Thank you, Richard. Patrick was talking about how to accelerate. So he was wanted to go from, for example, dependent level to further and faster. And you are talking about how to change habit. So it was 3 circles of but Mr. Covey offered. But still, thank you very much, Richard. It's a great example to me. The serious desire, not so easily changed. You are talking about something, what, for example, you offered about children. It's maybe we want to help if something happen, but the desire, it's much deeper. It's it's actually who we are, and it's not changeable that easy. It's my opinion. Brian?
Well, first, Patrick, were you referring to you you wanted to educate another person in changing faster, or is that what you referred to?
I think both, right? You know, I mean, for me to educate somebody, I have to model that, right? So
Okay.
So the key there is because this is, you know, again, this is my perception, right? And I've experienced this, right? Where we go through those 3 stages all the time, whether we know it or not, right? You know,
Right.
I mean, for example, you know, I basically are very active in the securities market and in investment stuff like that, right? So something new, I don't know about it, I have to learn about it, right? And if I learn
Right.
about it, then I was like, okay, you know, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, it's a scam, whatever. No, it's like I have to identify what the opportunities are, right? And that's the independent thinking. It's like, okay, you know, is there an opportunity here or is not? And then I basically have to talk to other people to see whether or not, you know, my thinking is aligned with, you know, what reality is, because I see one perspective, but you know, that in my opinion, that's the power of the interdependent relationship, where you exchange views that you have a whole picture. Both of us have whole pictures, so this way you create more value. It's not just profession, but also personal, right? Like this group, right? I've learned so much from you guys. I hope like you learned something from me, but you know,
Of course.
but the key there is it's basically is the power of, you know, they call it now compounding, right? But the key, but what I'm trying to get at is like, you know, because, you know, because we have only so much time and energy, but the thing is, the relationship is what drives results. So how do you basically leverage time and energy and all that in such a way where, you know, like, okay, you know what, I don't know this stuff, right? What is it that I need to do to get to that, to get to a level where I can seriously have independent thinking about this, and then get to the next level, the interdependent level, a lot quicker, right? So I'm sure there is a strategy, a method, and you know, and the thing is, the way I do it is like, I basically look at the essential elements, right, to say, okay, what is important here? And I could be totally wrong. And if I know I'm wrong, then I'm like, okay, I go back to step one. So I go through that, you know, iterative process, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, is there another way to get to, you know, point A, point C, point B, point C a lot quicker? Because because in my opinion, we go through this cycle all the time, right? All the time. So.
Well,
Exactly studying that. Go ahead, Brian.
First, well, Patrick, I have to. I'm kind of listening to you. I'm a little amused. It sounds very almost. I don't know if you're trained as an engineer. I'm not really sure, but it sounds very much, you know, like sort of the engineering type approach or whatever, where it's like, you know, we put these pieces together and everything. And I applaud you for that. I mean, I know that there's a lot of good that can come of it, but I also think that for starters, I would point out that you know, probably with time, that as you learned a lot, you probably start at a higher position than you were at, say, like before. Do you understand what I mean? That your initial position when you enter a relationship or whatever is probably much higher than it would have been, say, like 5 years ago. So
yeah, but you see, I'm gonna counter that, because that is the limiting factor. That means you're carrying baggage, right?
No, I disagree with that.
Okay.
No,
Let's hear it.
what I mean is that you know, on, like, if you view like the steps towards like interdependence and stuff like that, right? If you look at sort of that as a ladder, right? I'm saying that as you where you're at now, you're starting at a higher level. You're starting at a higher step than you would have been before. Right. So it's easier for you to sort of get, you know, to sort of move up the levels, as it were, than it would have been before. So, I mean, what you're saying about you're still having to move the relationships through the steps, but you're starting at a higher level. So it's easier to get where you want it to be.
I see what
is
you're
what
going.
I'm saying.
Yeah, you basically
Mhm.
you're leveraging your previous wisdom, but your
Yeah,
current
yeah,
set of
it does.
wisdom.
What
You have a larger set of
now, it
wisdom
sort
to
of
work
makes
with.
it easier. Yeah, and I mean, I think, but I mean, and also, you know, you're realizing, we sort of are starting to realize like where like relationships and stuff like that fall apart, where they break down, and how to sort of change that, you know. And it's all sort of start of a process of building, I guess, kind of. And I think you're,
Well, I mean, you're hitting on a very good point, and I think that's what, you know, this whole group is about, in terms of really the heart of all this is the whole notion of interdependent relation, is the notion of relationship, right? Relationship is what create value. You look at human race, right? From the beginning, you look at God, right? We talked about God,
Yeah.
right? You know, God wants a relationship. Why? Because there's value in it, right? You know, there's value
Yes.
in terms of what the idea of the relationship. It doesn't matter if it's God or with another person, with your goldfish, you know. It's the idea that I think that is valuable, that I think in our current I guess in our development, we don't see that as clearly, for whatever reason.
yeah.
And that's what I was trying to get at, is basically there has to be a, you know, again, I'm experimenting. I don't know, you know, so it's one of those. And obviously the other reason I'm doing this is because I am modeling this for a 13-year-old, right? So, you know, he well, he almost does what I do, but not exactly. But the whole point is that I have to be careful of what I do, right? Because the thing is, like, I don't want to basically model the wrong thing, right? That has like basically a very bad ripple effect. And to circle back what Richard said about desire, I think the key for me personally is like, your desire to has to be vetted by a set of principles, right? Because it can't be just any old desire, because then if it's a desire that is not helping you flourish interdependent relationship, then I don't think it's worth spending time on, right? So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Thank you so much, guys. Many thoughts come into my mind while I was listening to you, or maybe some of them I forgot, but no, it's okay. If I forgot, it means it's not very important. So first, what I want to say, interesting thoughts. However, guys, let's do not complicate that much. Let's just do what Mr. Kovian has given. He was giving us everything. He was giving us methods. He was giving us principles, what those principles based on. We have a private victory of 3 habits. If I will put you all pictures, what I posted and all his thoughts, we will think that we start from the beginning. We forgot half of them already. This is the methods which we need to use. And then while we can be very strict with ourselves, we need to be pretty more cautious and kind to somebody else who we want to raise. And Brian, actually, last time you said something, and you said that we need to know the person. And I answered to you partially, and your comment was correct. I answered to you that do not worry if we are keeping our principles on God, everybody will recognize it. So this is the partially correct answer. The other part is, yes, we need to know the person. So you were right, Brian. We need to understand the person, because we can lead him into the other direction. And while Patrick, you were talking with Brian, I remember that, because yes, in order to progress the other person through some stages, we need to know what the person wants. And really, do we have the rights to progress a person through some stages? Can we do that? For example, if one tree is growing 10 years, the other tree is naturally growing 20 years, and we will decide, we will put the tree. No, it doesn't work this way. So we need to see, and what we need just share with people what we know. And if they are interested, then help them. But if they're not, it means they can be interested in something else. How if we will start, at least somebody will tell what was homework? Is anybody try to do win-win situation?
I'm in progress with mine, but the outlook looks pretty dim. It's not going to be a win-win, I can tell you that. Well, right now, based on current set of information, it's not going to be a win-win. It's business related, so it's not personal. Personal is always compromise.
Right. So, and yes, is it possible to have all the time win-win situation?
No, ma'am.
Yes. So, Jan, how is your situation? You said that you were working.
Thank you. Yes, it's progressing very well. I probably get a result this week, so I'm going to talk about this week. Next meeting, or just in the chat room. Hello? Somebody?
Yes, I hear
Hello?
you and I try to understand. We hear you, Jan.
Okay, so clearly and loudly, right? You hear me clearly and loudly. Okay, hello? I need some
Yeah.
response, please.
Jan, I don't
No?
understand. Maybe anybody can help me.
So nobody, okay, anybody can hear me?
I can hear you,
Can you hear
Yang.
me?
I can hear you, Yang.
Okay, okay, that's good. So, loudly,
We're just listening. We're just
clearly and loudly. Okay, I can hear you. All right, oh yes, it's women practices progressing very well. I probably got the result next week. So I will come back
Okay.
with the result with you guys.
Okay,
right,
wonderful,
okay.
wonderful. Yes, Jan,
I will
thank you
share
so
my
much.
experience.
Yes, great.
Okay. Mhm.
So who
Yes, sorry.
else?
Sometimes I feel that you are not listening to me.
Yeah, but do not, something
See-
how I mentioned already,
Okay,
many
okay.
times, something with your microphone. We are sorry that
Sorry,
here.
okay, I have to change.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
who else, guys? Is anybody tried? Is anybody, if how I mentioned, if you didn't find that situation, maybe you come with something else with some problem. If we cannot answer right now, maybe we will think about it. But let's start to do something practical. Okay, I can offer to you one situation which is in our lives right now going, and really will ask your opinion, because for right now we don't know what to suggest and so we have friends, and they have a young man. He's in his 35, so he's young. He's very ambitious. He's very goal oriented. He's principle oriented. He has high standards in demand to himself and to the other people. And with all that so positive stuff, he is making actually, in my opinion, many mistakes. Whatever and whoever doesn't match his standards, he's quitting right away. And we want to talk to him, and we actually don't know what to tell to him. Because if we are saying, think before you quit, he's actually thinking. He's saying that I'm thinking very carefully before I do something. So he's thinking, it means he has proactivity gap, but he is, whatever what a person, he met a person, for example, he's still not married, he met a girl, and whatever girl is doing something what is not with his opinion right, he's just quitting with her. The same problem with friends. If those friends do not match his principles, he's actually saying principles, he's quitting with them too. And he's good man and he's finding right away somebody else, but how can it's a huge mistake in life, right? So what would suggest help us with? Richard?
The only word that came to mind was and I was listening to Covey today about empathic thinking or empathic listening. And so it involves putting yourself in the other person's shoes and then understanding the issues from the other person's point of view. And without that, what we end up doing is using those same thoughts over and over and finding ways to support those thoughts within ourselves. It's like a barrier that doesn't let the other person's point of view come in. So those are my thoughts.
Thank you. How that can help him? So we will come to him, we will listen to him, and we will say, oh yeah, I understand you. How can we help him? Actually, what I want to help him to set his life correctly. And preferably, let's guys to use what we learned. Because yeah, it's great, Richard, that you listen, but we don't know that. And actually, if I remember, you already mentioned that even before. You were saying that put yourself in somebody's shoes. While I agree with you completely, and it's a very honorable and beautiful thing to do, we cannot use just this. If we will understand everybody, we need to actually put our standards as well and define some balance. And it's very often, of course, I don't mean that you're doing all the time, that you are very straightforward and powerful man. But usually what we are saying, it's usually what we are doing. So we need to balance many principles, not only put one principle, which we know. Yes, Patrick?
Well, I mean, one thing they could do is certainly determine what is it, or this is where journaling comes in, right? To identify a pattern, right? So to figure out the problem, you got to know what the problem is, right? So what is it about these people that he met that like turned them off, right? So what is it? So maybe if he journaled those things down, maybe there's a commonality, right? And the thing is that's the other thing is, is he basically I'm looking like a Venn diagram, right? Is he looking like a, does he want like a 100% match to his principle?
Yeah.
I mean, if that is, then might as well just clone himself, right? That's not possible, right? So the key there is like there's got to be some sort of commonality. I mean, I'll use me as a person as an example. Do I like everybody? No, but do I look for the commonalities? Like, yeah, I could see why that person say or think or feel the way they do, because if I was in their situation, I would feel the same way. So I could understand what Richard's saying in terms of empathy, but at the same time, like you say, Lena, there is a guideline, right? It's like, yeah, so I have to come back and say, well, I'm not that person because I have because I live by this set of principles. So therefore, I respect that person, right? That yeah, I know them, and but the thing is, then you have to determine, it's like, okay, is this person going to be in my circle of trust, or is this person going to be like, oh yeah, Christmas, I'll send you a card, that type of relationship. So what kind of relationship? Because if and that's what I mean about journaling, right? When you journal, you kind of know, like, okay, you could basically look back and see patterns, right? Because when you journal, you actually have written down your actions, right? Your actions, and you can see like, oh yeah, this, it's like, I'll make examples of it, like, yeah, you know what, I don't like people wearing glasses. So you see like all the people he met, like it's like, yeah, this guy's glasses is like horn rim weird, so I don't like it, right? It could be many things, but what I'm saying is, when you identify those patterns, then you have to reflect on why you don't like those patterns. So even though your principle could be misguided, right? It could be in terms of perspective. Principle could mean anything, right? So it's a function of whether your principle is, well, let me rephrase that. You know, your principle could be applied in a wrong way, right? So principle, you know, don't change, but your value system, how you create your value system from those principles might be need to be looked at, right? So, and I think that's the first step, is really to analyze, you know, what is it about you? Because the thing is, it's not about the person that you don't like. It's about you, why you yourself don't like that person. You know, because you can't change your external, you have to change your internal. It's like, what is it about you inside that have these dislike about something? You know what I mean? And I think journaling helps. And basically, it's identifying the patterns.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Brian?
Well, Patrick, all I can say is I hope my glasses don't turn you off that much, I guess. First off, Lena, I want to ask you something. So, did I understand that? So you're talking about you know, this young man, right? Somebody else,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, and you're concerned about this person's sort of, you know, what this person is doing and everything, correct?
Yes.
Is that what you meant?
Yes.
That's what LASIK is for. So the first question I wanted to ask is, you know, I mean, to get back to something we talked about early on, it's like, you know, circle of concern versus circle of influence, right? You know, I mean, we've always talked about, you know, you should focus on sort of changing what you do. You know what I mean? It's like you can't change this other person, what they're doing, right? And in a lot of ways, I think the best thing you can do for somebody else is sort of model it in your own life. You can't, I mean, you can try to talk to the person if you feel there's issues, but you can't change them. I
It's a
mean, you
beautiful
can't
edit,
force them to
Brian.
change.
I didn't mention he's actually will come and he wants to talk to me, and I'm
Yeah.
preparing.
Oh,
So this
yeah,
is
yeah,
not,
yeah.
yes, you just didn't know, I didn't mention that.
Okay,
Yes,
well,
we will have a meeting probably in a week, and
oh,
he
okay,
wants to talk, and
right.
I am actually in a very difficult spot because I decided to ask you, and it's actually for us would be a great example. Can you imagine? Now we are right now what we are doing. We are learning how to be principle oriented, right? We
Yeah.
are learning how to be strong, and on the other side, he is actually principle oriented. He is strong, but he's making a lot of mistakes in his life, and he is actually suffering. And he doesn't know what to do, because to know what he's doing, he's not doing it for fun. When he's quitting, for example, what I know, he said like he quit with 3 girls, and they were wonderful girls, but they didn't match his principles, so they didn't do what he think is they supposed to do, and it was something right. So do you see this is the other extreme? Yes, Richard, please.
Yeah, my comment before wasn't trying to imply that you have to give up your
No, of course
principles
not.
when you are when you show empathy. But you know, you could have to one extreme principles that are
Exactly.
disaligned with the vast majority of people. Or you could have principles that you will never violate, but that a more broader range of people can fit within your goals. I mean, well, your limits, your principles. And I think empathy will allow that to an extent. I recall, I forgot where I read this or it might have been in Covey's book, that that being gentle is it a strength or a weakness? And in many men's eyes, though, especially those that believe themselves to be highly principled, being gentle might be considered a weakness.
No, it's of course it's strengths, Richard. Thank you. You said something very nice at the beginning. You said that his principles do not align with the majority of people. You said, I like it. Can you repeat?
I didn't really judge this person that way. I said that it's possible that
Yes, yes, but how you
principles-
said like this, right?
that the principles can be to an extent that they don't align with a vast majority of people. And so
Yes.
your circle of I guess people who would fit within your principles is much, much smaller. And so is that what you really want in your life? And if that's the case, then of course you shouldn't change anything. But if that's not what you're looking for, then somehow you've got to decide to listen to others and to try to absorb some of the things that they believe in as well.
Thank you, Richard. I like what you said. So what I think we need to clarify, guys, we are judging or we are looking for solution, because do not the word is judging kind of put down anything when we want to say about us and look for solution. What we were talking right now, what I was trying to influence, that we would say our problems and we would solve them. And if we will think that we are judging, then do know, yes, we will bury our problems inside and we will live with them, and they are spoiled, will spoil our health from inside. So let me repeat, judging, it's, and we talk already about it, but let me say it again, judging it when we are judging the human personality. For example, if a person make a mess, I can say to him, you make a mess, nothing wrong with that. We don't need to be afraid of it. It's not judging. But if I will say to him, you're a pig, well, this is a judging. Guys, we need to start to be open, do you know? Thank you. Brian, please.
Well, I think for starters, I think, you know, him coming to you, you know, is a good indication of sort of the, that he has some sort of trust in you, I guess. And, you know, that, you know, that it's, I think, you know, really using the tool of you know, of listening or empathetic listening or whatever. I forget exactly what the term is, but, you know, really, or basically the fourth habit or fifth habit, which is really trying to better understand what his situation is and what he really sees as the problem. You know, first and foremost, really trying to understand and flesh out what his opinion, what he really sees as the problem is, you know, is the big thing to start with, you know.
But this I got it. Richard said very well about it. You said very well about it. Let's move ahead. So, okay, I listened him very well. What I need to tell? Yeah, it's what I'm getting. What I'm getting from when asking concrete, the exact question, what we need to say or what we need to do. What I'm getting, we need to think, we need to analyze, we need to be nice. I got it. What I need to say. So far, what Richard said was great. So he said that the principles do not align with the majority of people. But what else? Because can you imagine, he believes that he's doing the right thing. Okay, guys, so we don't need right now to stress out on it. Maybe that's enough. Anyway, thank you so much because I really needed be more kind and you are actually, thank you, Richard, very much, and thank you, Brian, and thank you, Patrick. What you were pointed, it's what I'm missing. We already out of time, but please, no, maybe anybody wants to say something. And at least we will think till next meeting. And do you approve the proposal? If we will leave at the end of every hour meeting, half an hour, and we will say, I have this situation. What is your opinion? How can I solve it? If you approve it, we will do it. And, if you don't, we won't do it. Please at least put something and we can try, and we will just move with the theory. But I cannot say more. I spent almost the whole meeting to influence you. Yes, Brian.
Well, I think it's a great idea. I mean, it's certainly a great idea. You know, it's, I mean, Patrick was sort of trying to do that himself. You know, he was discussing a situation himself. So, you know, it's important, I guess, in that is to, if you want people to do it, you kind of have to let them, you know, give them time, give them the space to do it. So, I mean, I was very interested in what Patrick's conversation was. So, so yeah, I think if you'll let people, you know, have the space to do it, it'd be a good idea. So
let's try, guys. So 1 hour. I'm great, Jan, thank you. We will talk as usual the theory, and exactly in 1 hour I'm stopping, and we are discussing any of your problem. It can be the situation win-win. I've seen Patrick. I will ask you right now. Don't forget, please, okay? What you wanted to say. It can be the situation which you want to improve with someone. It can be your own problem. It can be what you want to improve in yourself. It can be just the situation which you want to improve. Anything. Let's try to practically apply the problems, the solution. Yes, Patrick, what did you want to say?
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I think we should try it. If it doesn't work out, right, we'll pivot into something different. But I think the key there is
Thank you,
really going to, in terms of encouraging us to be courageous, to be direct, to act, and the outcome would only bring us more awareness and consciousness of who we are and what we are and what we can, you know, what we need to work on to be better human beings. You know, there's no, you know, in my opinion, I'm not perfect. I like to be better. I'm sure like you all are more perfect, but you know, I know I'm not. So I'm,
no, they're not.
You know, so I mean, that's reality, right? So I think incremental improvement is, you know, and I think this platform is a great opportunity for those who want it. So.
Okay, let's try. Let's guys try. So it's 5:42. I'm finishing our meeting as usual, and always I tremendously enjoyed our conversation, and I really all the time I want that you would participate more. But material is so huge, and you probably hear that I'm always in a rush to just share with you what I prepared, but maybe I don't need in rush. Maybe if we will extend a little bit, for example, right now we are spending 2.5 meetings for one habit. Okay, what will happen if we will spend 3 meetings for one habit? And if we will get it completely right? Where I am rushing. I was complaining already that I'm rushing all my time, but also all my life, but also I don't want that you would get bored. So please, with this feedback for me would be important. It's not for me, it's what you feel more comfortable. So please text me if you would like on the meeting board. I don't have anything to hide. If you would like personally to me, so if you are okay that we would spend 3-4 meetings for one habit. And guys, we just have 3 habits. If we will spend 3 meetings, 3-4 meetings for one habit, that we will get it. We will get it completely. Yes, Brian.
Okay, there we go. I wanted to make a little joke. I wanted to make a little joke, Lena, but I don't know if it's
Do it.
appropriate. So you're a rushing Russian, I guess, huh?
Oh, yeah, I am. Yes, I am. Cannot complain. I did so much in my life, so
Yeah.
much, but still I will live in the perfect present because I am now.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to just quickly come back to Patrick's thing. I guess I sort of wanted to say before that there was something somewhere, I can't remember exactly who said it, but it was something to the effect of, I can't exactly remember how it's quoted, but that you pretty much have to battle. The battle is pretty much, you want to rush everything, but dealing with, trying to rush through, trying to hurry through the steps and everything, all that kind of stuff. You want to do that, but I think in a lot of time, you sort of have to learn to sort of.
We can, Brian,
patience.
we can. I remember Mr. Ford, he said actually, why I should walk if I can run? And he did a lot in his life. We can run, we can rush, but we still need to be present. If I can run, why can I walk? I so much in my life I achieved, and I'm completely happy. I don't want to tell you what I achieved. So, but that we enjoy life because life is so short. Just enjoy, and we can enjoy only when we are in the present moment. Yes, Richard.
Just quickly, I wanted to put an exclamation point on one of Young's comments, where he said about having courage to say no and yes.
Yes,
and then also having the integrity to follow through on those.
Beautiful. Thank you, Richard, very much. Jan, I really enjoyed that, and I didn't have time, but I couldn't help. I answered right away. And we didn't have time to discuss the movie. Maybe we will post on our message board because I want to let you go. So thank you again, everyone. Hello, Erica. I've seen you before. Thank you for joining. Hello, Valentina. Hello, Lucky. We see you first time. Welcome to the group. So again, thank you so much, and see you next Saturday at 4. All of you again, and please participate in our
Sunday
beautiful.
At 4.
Yes, Sunday at 4. Thank you. Beautiful and very insightful our group chat. Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Thank you.